I'm gonna go do the most incredible thing ever. I'm gonna go to the hardware store and the grocery store. Now it's doing all of the turning of the wheel, all of the shifting. Forgot my ladder. And we're parked. That was cool. That was cool. Hi, I'm Zane from Drive the Mall and welcome back. This week we are spending some time with this vehicle, a 2021 Ford Escape plug-in hybrid. It'll go for around 30 to 35 miles on a full charge and get 40 miles to the gallon with its gasoline engine after that. And while researching this vehicle, I found a couple of unique features that got me really interested. So we're going to take some time and investigate them. So to find out how well the new Ford Escape truly performs, I'm going to put it to the ultimate test. I'm going to go run some errands. This Escape is powered by a plug-in hybrid powertrain. It's a 2.5-liter four-cylinder gas engine paired with a 14.4 kilowatt-hour battery unit and electric motor. The electric motor can drive the vehicle for up to 37 miles until the battery pack runs out of juice after you've charged it with a wall charger, and then the gas engine will take over and give you 40 miles per gallon until you run out of gas or charge the vehicle again. So I've got two places that I'm going to end up going today to take care of my errand list. The first one of them is the hardware store, and it's about 10 miles away from me. Thankfully, I've got around 14 miles of all-electric range because I forgot to charge it last night, and it's also pretty cold here in New Hampshire right now. But that's good. I'm going to have 10 miles to get to the hardware store with 14 miles of range. I should just cover it and be able to make that entire leg on all-electric power. So we're a couple miles down the road, and our fuel economy testing is going very well. We've gone 2.5 miles. It's all electric. The engine has not turned on once. So we're getting 999.9 miles to the gallon according to the Escape's computer, which we're going to use because we don't want to, scientific testing would be too laborious for us. So we'll just trust the computer and use that as our guide for today. So this entire time we have been running with just the electric motor, and I got to tell you, I have to look at the driver information center to even tell, because according to my senses, the acceleration, the pickup, the torque, this electric motor and all electric powertrain is really nice. I'm sure the gas engine will kick on at some point here, but for now we've been cruising with just electric power for the last couple miles since we left. And it's a really satisfying experience. The vehicle is really quiet. Acceleration is brisk. You've got all that low-end torque that you are used to. Probably some more than you would be used to for a Ford Escape, in all honesty. But it's a really nice drive when you're just on the electric motor. And that's not what plug-in hybrids used to be like just a year or two ago. This new generation of plug-in hybrid is really impressive. So here's something really interesting. We have now gone 9.8 miles, or just about 10 miles, but we've only lost 2 miles of range. The vehicle is still telling us we have 12 miles of all electric range. It only said 14 when we left 10 miles ago. So subsequently, we've been all electric at speeds of up to about 65 miles an hour, traveling around 45 miles an hour on average. Our fuel economy estimate is still 999.9 miles per gallon because the gas engine has not turned on once, but we've only lost 2 miles of range and gone 10 miles, which is pretty cool. And it's neat that the Escape plug-in hybrid is so far overachieving on its abilities. All right, we're pulling into Lowe's right now. And that brings us to the next feature that I wanted to talk about, and that's Ford's Active Park Assist, which allows us to park the vehicle automatically. So let's give it a shot. All right, we're gonna come in here. I got my finger, I'm about to push the park button, and then I'm gonna indicate that I wanna do a back in park. I'm gonna put my turn signal to the side that I am wanting to find a parking spot. Oh, it has told me it's found a parking spot. I'm gonna shift to neutral, press and hold the park button, take my foot off the brake, and see how this does. It's gonna straighten up here because it would otherwise hit that vehicle. Now it's doing all of the turning of the wheel, all of the shifting, all of the gas and brake. It is doing that all by itself. So it has again picked this parking spot, the same one it did before, and it's kind of coming in at an angle and straightening itself out. It's trying to be perfectly straight in the lines, but that's going to be kind of hard. It's getting awfully close to the vehicle next to me, but not to the point where I want to intervene yet. All right, it did it. We're a little bit crooked, not gonna lie, but I think it's passable. All right, so that takes care of errand number one, the hardware store. I picked up a ladder, I got some chainsaw parts. We are good to go. And so now we're headed off at errand number two, the grocery store, to pick up a few groceries. Originally, we were just gonna stop in and keep moving and try to get the best fuel economy possible, but I think we're gonna change our game plan here. I've gone 10.9 miles now. All of it has been electric, and instead of getting the best fuel economy possible, we're gonna go for all electric driving for the entire trip. But to do that, we've only got 10 miles of range left. I'm gonna need to top off my battery pack. And I can only think of one way we can do that. And that is going to Whole Foods, where they offer electric vehicle charging, and putting a few kilowatt hours into this vehicle so we can make it all the way home. I'm not even sure we need to charge this to get home. We have only used 4 miles of range and gone 11.3 miles, but I'm gonna play it safe, and then we can show what it's like to plug this thing in on the road or at a remote charging station, and how easy it is to work. Okay, we've made it to Whole Foods. It says 2.2 hours at 240 volts to fully charge, so we're not gonna get a full charge, but that's okay. Maybe 15-20 minutes is going to be all that we need to get just a little bit more range and get home. I am at an EVgo fast charging station, so I think the first thing that I need to do is plug in and then use my app to start charging. Okay, here we are 30 minutes later. We've got all of our grocery shopping and lunch done at Whole Foods. The entire time we were charging the Ford Escape Hybrid plug-in in a level 2 charger out front. And so it has been able to add, with a level 2 charger, another 4 miles of range in those 30 minutes. It cost me about 20 to 30 cents. Not a big deal, maybe even a little bit less. I got to check on the app and see. But now we're going to start heading back home. We've got the same exact amount of range as we did when we left, but we've gone 12 miles, which is really cool. So let's go head home and talk about one more reason that I really like this car. All right, so we're moving here closer to getting back home again. And the weird thing I've noticed is that while we only lost a few miles of range on the way out, on the way back, we've lost about 10 miles of electric range. When we left Whole Foods, we had 14 miles. We're now at 5. We've gone about 10 miles, so it's really has been accurate, but we didn't lose nearly as many miles of range on our way out the other direction. It might be elevation related, I'm not sure, but I think we're gonna make it home, but I just don't know. I mean, this is gonna be really, really close. Will we be able to make it home without getting the engine turned on? I am becoming less confident now. All right, so we have 2 miles left of range, and I'm 2 miles from my house. So this is gonna be down to the wire. On my way through town, I had a little bit of the gas engine pop on during some hard acceleration. So by admission, I have 0.4 miles on the gas engine out of the past 22 that I've driven. So I can't claim the perfect all electric from home and through my chores and back, but I'm really, really close to not running the electric batteries dry before I get home. So that would be really cool. Right now I'm at 645 miles per gallon of range, which, you know, I thought for sure I was going to deplete this battery halfway through my trip, but to integrate charging it into traveling around and doing my chores and realizing that I may not use very much gasoline at all on this entire afternoon, you know, little trip to go out and get some chores done is really exciting, and shows to me that the Escape plug-in hybrid is an actual usable plug-in vehicle that's going to be really good for a lot of people. And I got 1 mile left to go and about 1 mile left to my house. So let's see how this plays out. Can I avoid having that gas engine fully kick on before I pull in my driveway? I'm still getting higher on the fuel economy. I'm at 663 miles to the gallon now. And climbing, 664. Still got 1 mile left on the range. We're gonna take this really slow, be really light on the throttle. 667 miles to the gallon. Still on all electric power here. The gas engine has not kicked on, and I'm about a quarter mile from home, so oh, this is gonna be really close. Turning onto my road. Still all electric. I've traveled 22.2 miles electric since I left my house. I've only gone 22.7 miles total. So we're at 675 miles per gallon, still on all electric. Gas engine has not kicked on yet. Oh, we are so close. We are so, so close. I can see my house. Am I gonna make it in the driveway before the gas engine kicks on? Come on, electric. 680 miles to the gallon. We're turning into the house. Can we come to a stop? Yes. We did it. We did it. We made our whole trip and we only used 0.4 of gas power, 0.4 miles of gas power. So we went a total of 22.9 miles. 22 and a half of them were on all electric power. And I've got just about a half a mile left of electric juice in the battery pack, and I can plug it in and charge it up. It'll take about 8 hours to charge on my 110 outlet, which is really, you know, if I'm not going to go anywhere till tomorrow. But if I wanted to keep going, I mean, I've got hundreds of miles of range left with the gasoline engine. Even though I depleted the battery pack, I should still have hundreds of miles left with 40 miles to the gallon on the gas engine. So this is cool. I think this trip was a success. So if you're searching for a car that is perfect for light family duty, great at the daily commuting grind, that sips on fuel and isn't super expensive, you might want to consider the Ford Escape plug-in hybrid. And there we go. I think today's chore test was an absolute success. I had no idea that I would learn so much about the Ford Escape plug-in hybrid over 22 miles as I did today. And that's because we did a few things. We took it to a hardware store and found out that it could have a lot of room in the back and navigate its own way into its own parking spot, which I thought was really cool. We also took it to Whole Foods and charged it using a public level 2 charger. Now that added another 4 miles and cost us 78 cents, but I think it was worth it because it allowed us to get back home without fully depleting the battery pack. And that means with only a half a mile of gas-powered propulsion over 22.8 miles, I was able to get 680 miles per gallon today on my round trip. And that is downright impressive. So if you're interested in a vehicle that will fulfill all of your needs as a family hauler and a daily driver while sipping the least amount of fuel possible, then you might want to check out the Ford Escape plug-in hybrid. Again, I'm Zane from Drive the Mall, and I'll see you next time. Forgot my ladder.